Your favorite radio station presents a holiday classic.
Attaboy, Clarence.
The 23rd anniversary edition of Christmas on the Radio.
God bless us, everyone.
Now the 2022 edition of Christmas on the Radio with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Well, it wouldn't be Christmas without an episode of Blondie. This episode starring the original stars Arthur Lake and Penny Singleton. And this episode of Blondie and Dagwood goes all the way back to Christmas Day, 1939. Let's listen to Blondie and Dagwood.
Don't touch that dial. Listen to...
And now, since our weekly visit to the Bumsteads falls on Christmas Day, we find them surrounded by ex-Christmas packages and what came out of them. Dagwood's on the couch, relaxing after dinner, and somewhere, not quite far enough off, Baby beats a toy drum. And at the desk, Blondie is checking over some figures of her own.
Dagwood, I've been going over the list of people who sent us Christmas cards, and the list of people we sent cards to. You can't win, Dagwood. It's always the same way. This year we sent 3 cards to people who didn't send us any.
Oh, well, we got plenty.
That isn't it, Dagwood. 6 people sent us cards that we didn't send any to. Now, isn't that terrible?
Well, we could send 3 extras we got to 3 people we didn't and come out 3 ahead.
Oh, no, Dagwood.
No?
We'll have to make up for it next year.
Look, Blondie, let's not start figuring on next year yet, huh? I'm all tired out from this one. Oh. Hey, who gave Baby Dumpling that drum?
Mr. Fuddle.
Spite work.
Oh, no, Dagwood.
I'll bet it was, just because I gave their little Alvin a bugle.
Hey, look at Daddy. Look at Mommy. I'm up there, right? Yes, we see you, baby.
Yeah, we hear you too, baby. Look, go be a parade over at Fuddle's, huh?
Oh, now, Dagwood, it's Christmas.
I know, but I was up practically all night helping Santa Claus.
Oh, did you see him, Daddy?
Huh? Oh, sure.
Did he say what he was so mad about?
How's that, baby? Oh, Sandy never gets mad.
He was last night. I heard him. Oh, dear. What did you hear, baby? Well, I heard a big bump, and it woke me up. Then I heard Santa hollering that he stepped on a roller skate.
Oh, yeah.
You must remember not to leave those skates around, baby. Suppose Sandy did get mad and never came back. Oh, he'd forget us by next year.
Oh, gosh. No, they put strong stuff in those drums, don't they? Don't they ever break?
That's because I'm such a good drummer. I know just how hard to get it. Here I go, but I'll be back.
No hurry. Boy, I'm tired. If it was quiet, I bet I'd sleep for a week. What are you figuring now, Blondie?
Oh, just making sure we sent a present to everybody who sent us one. We did.
Yeah, we sent 1 extra, too, to Dithers. Can you imagine that guy not giving us a present this year, Blondie?
Oh, I guess he just overlooked it.
He did not. He's just too mean.
Oh, no, Dagwood. It was just some mistake.
You know who Dithers reminds me of? That old bird in Dickens' Christmas Carol, Scrooge.
Dagwood.
Yes, sir. You know, Aunt Bessie sent Baby a copy of that story.
I know.
And while you were getting dinner, I read it to Baby. I read it twice. And Scrooge reminded me of Dithers both times. Oh, golly, here comes the drum again.
Well, I'll try to keep Baby quiet if you want a little nap, Dagwood.
A little nap? I'm short a whole night's sleep now.
Baby! Not so loud. Poor Daddy's tired. Stop now. Well, but, Mommy, this is about all I have to play with. Why, Baby Dumpling, you have lots of toys.
Yeah.
They're most all broken now, Mommy.
Why did you break the quiet ones first?
Here's your toy telephone. You could play with that. Make believe you're calling up somebody. Okay, Mommy. Well, I put my drum down.
Listen, Baby. Call up Mommy on that toy phone and ask her to keep the house quiet, huh? Daddy wants a nap.
Okay, Daddy. Hello. Is this you, Mommy? Hello. Yes, baby. Hey, Mommy, is it okay for Daddy to go to sleep on the couch with his shoes on? Oh. Well, on Christmas, I guess it is. Okay, bye. Hey, Mommy, read me a story. Well, what would you like? That book Aunt Nancy sent. Christmas Carol. Daddy said he read you that twice.
Yeah, I did. It's a fine story, but twice in one day is enough. I know it by heart.
You read it, Mommy. Oh, all right. I'll read softly so Daddy can sleep. Here it is. Start here where it tells about the mean old Scrooge, Mommy. All right. It says, Scrooge, a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner.
Hard and sharp as flint.
My goodness, I think Daddy does know it by heart.
Yeah, reminds me of Dithers.
Shh, Dagwood. Go on, Mommy. Well, he carried his own low temperature always about with him. He iced his office on dog days and didn't thaw it 1 degree at Christmas.
Oh, Scrooge, Dithers.
The heaviest rain and snow and hail and sleet could boast of the advantage over him in only one respect. They often came down handsomely, and Scrooge never did.
Reminds me of a Fuddle joke. Fuddle, Dithers, Scrooge.
If Daddy worked for Scrooge, I'd tell him where to get off at. I'd ring him up on my phone and tell him like this.
Hello, Scrooge and Dithers, Dag Cratchit speaking.
Daddy's dreaming, Mommy. He's dreaming he's Bob Cratchit, Scrooge's clerk. The door of Scrooge's counting house was open so that he might keep his eye upon his clerk, who in a dismal little cell was copying letters.
Hello, Scrooge and Dithers Construction Company. Mr. Scrooge is in conference. This is Dag Cratchit. Cratchit! Oh, hello, Mr. Scrithers, Mr. Doogie.
The name is Scrooge, Cratchit.
You sound like Dithers.
Huh? Who's Dithers?
The man who sounds like you.
What's the matter with you? Are you sleeping on my time?
I don't know. I feel kind of funny.
You've probably gone batty, Cratchit. When I came in, you were talking to yourself.
Oh, no, sir. I was talking on the phone.
Phone?
Huh?
What's that?
Why, this thing right here. And hey, where is it?
I never heard of a phone.
Oh, my mistake. I guess they haven't been invented yet.
No. And if they had been, I wouldn't have one. Too expensive.
There's something mighty funny about all this.
Ain't funny to me, Cratchit. Wake up.
I wish I could.
Trouble is, I keep this office too hot for you.
Hot? Look at the frost on the windows, Mr. Scrooge.
Nonsense. That's just a little fog outside. It's foggy all over London today.
London? Oh, yeah.
You act tipsy, Cratchit.
Huh?
Been drinking the ink?
No, sir. I never drink ink. Anyway, it's frozen.
Nonsense. Look at the blaze in that fireplace.
Oh, that's nothing but some red paper with a candle behind it.
Well, use your imagination, Cratchit.
Look, Mr. Scrooge, it's Christmas Eve. Couldn't I have a real fire? Just one lump of coal?
No.
Oh.
I can't get at the coal. I'm not going to open the safe again today.
Well, then, can I have a sip of water?
Now it's water.
Well, just a sip.
Next it'll be 2 sips, and then a glass. And then you'll want to bathe in the stuff.
Never mind. The water is frozen, too.
Good. It'll last longer that way. Now get back to your stool and get to work.
Yes, sir.
Cratchit!
Oh, no, yes, sir?
What's the idea of 2 candles burning at once? One each side of the ledger.
Why, that's a little invention of mine, Mr. Scrooge. I can see both sides of the ledger at once that way.
Pah! You only work on one side at a time. There. One's enough.
Listen, it sounds like a drum.
Nonsense, that's a horse. It's some fool wasting his money on a hansom cab. Probably my nephew, Fred.
Well, it must be nice to take a cab when it's so foggy.
There. Last time Fred took a cab, he parked double in front of Buckingham Palace. And I had to fix his ticket.
Yeah. Listen, they must have met another cab.
The traffic in London today is a menace to life and limb. I'll write a letter to the Times.
It says, speaking of your nephew, Fred, reminds me, he sent a message today.
If he wants money, he won't get it.
No, sir. He just said, Merry Christmas. He sent it collect.
Merry humbug. Pistache, fiddle, faddle, Christmas. Bah.
Oh, come, Mr. Scrooge.
Don't Mr. Scrooge me. I suppose you're leading up to asking for the day off tomorrow.
Yes, sir, if quite convenient.
Well, it isn't. What are you putting your tippet on now for?
It's after closing time, sir, and it's a long walk to Camden Town, now that the horse trams have stopped running.
What? Stopped? Why wasn't I told?
Well, right after you got on the board of directors, Mr. Scrooge, the tram stopped running.
Why? What happened?
Well, you gave orders to cut down the horses' hay.
I put him in training, that's all. Gave 'em one handful less every day. That way they didn't miss it. And in a few weeks, I'd have 'em used to no hay.
Yes, sir. But just when they were getting used to it, they all died.
Just lack of cooperation, that's all. Well, don't stand talking, Cratchit. If you're going, get out.
Yes, sir.
You're wasting the candle.
Yes, sir. Could I have my week's wages now? Christmas shopping, you know.
A fool and his money are soon parted, Cratchit. You'll never be rich if you spend as fast as you get it.
Well, my family...
You can't afford a family.
No.
Utter extravagance. Oh, but here you are. 5 shillings and 2 halfpenny. Just for loafing here all last week.
Thank you, sir. But it should be 5 shillings 3 halfpenny.
Huh? Why the extra penny?
I loafed half a day on Sunday, too.
Get out!
All right.
And be here all the earlier day after tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Dag.
Dag who?
Daggone, I forgot to wish you Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Merry Poppycock, Cratchit. Scaram.
Yes, sir.
Daddy's still asleep, Baby Dumpling? Sure, Mommy. He thinks he's running in his dream. Look at his leg. He thinks he's sliding. Maybe he's dreaming about where Bob Cratchit slid downhill with the boys 20 times before he ran all the way home to Camden Town and Mrs. Cratchit and Tiny Tim.
Hey, Blondie Cratchit. Where's Tiny Dumpling?
Here I am, Father. Well, Dag Cratchit, what kept you so long tonight?
Why, I ran all the way home. Who's that in the chimney corner?
Cratchit!
Oh, why, it's Mr. Scrooge. How did you get here ahead of me?
I flew, Cratchit. Flew through the air.
Oh, you must be spoofing, sir.
I never spoof. I had a nasty experience. I found a ghost in my bedroom.
Huh?
I was counting my money before going to bed, and when I took the padlock off my wallet...
I know. A moth flew out.
Yes. No! Wasn't a moth. It was a ghost. And it didn't come out of my wallet. It wafted through the wall. But that's not the worst.
No?
No.
Oh.
This ghost said 3 other ghosts would come for me. They're going to take me for a ride.
Oh, my. Gangster ghost?
No, Christmas ghosts. The first one will be there when the clock strikes 1. But I'll fool him. I won't be there. I'll be here.
Well, that's fooling them. Oh, hey, maybe they will follow you here. Oh, there goes the clock.
Oh, here comes the ghost. I hear him on the stairs.
Oh, maybe just one of the neighbors.
No, it's the ghost. Coming for me. In a minute, he'll knock on that door.
Oh, if you're going to knock, knock.
Why, that is one of our neighbors.
Sure, Fezziwig Fuddle. He's a card, too.
Don't let him in.
I am in, old Scrooge Ball.
That sounds like Fezziwig Fuddle.
Yeah, and it looks a little like him. But it kind of looks like a ghost, too.
Well, that just goes to show you.
What do you want with me?
Why, buddy, I'm the senior member of the firm of Ghost, Ghost Tours Deluxe. Have a car, John.
Where are the other members of the firm, huh?
All the other boys will be along later.
Huh.
Now, we have tours of Christmas past, present, and future. I head up the past department myself. Ready for a little excursion, Scrooge UOG?
No, I don't want to go back in the past. I've been there.
Well, you never know the old place now. Come on, this is for free.
Oh, free? Any tips?
Nary a tip, pal. Come on, I'll show you some nice spirits.
No. You'll get me back in the past and then make me walk home.
Oh, no tricks on our personally conducted ghost rides, friend. That wouldn't be showing the right spirit. You get it?
Look, Mr. Scrooge, why don't you go with him? He makes me nervous.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge. A little fresh air would do you good.
Don't worry, folks. He'll go with me, okay, when the clock strikes 1.
Oh, it's going to strike now.
I'm not going. I'll hold on to Dag Cratchit here.
No, listen, let go. Oh.
Look at Mommy. The ghost is fading. So is Mr. Scrooge.
So am I. Help!
They're all gone, Mommy.
Oh, Blondie.
From 83 years ago, December 25th, 1939, Blondie will continue in just about a minute when Christmas on the Radio continues. Brought to you in part by MediShare.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare. And here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. And it's true, the typical family switching to MediShare saves $500 or more a month, which is obviously huge for a lot of people. But what's more, they like it. MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to health insurance. Double. There are 400,000 members. They've shared over $4 billion in medical bills, and it really is a great community, too. People encourage and pray for each other. And here's the thing. If you join MediShare Complete right now, they'll waive your new member fees, and you'll save an additional 10% off all of 2023. That's right. No fee to join, 10% off every month of next year, but it's a very limited time offer. You have to sign up before December 31st. Great savings, great health care. Find out more. Call now. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
At the time this episode aired, Blondie and Dagwood were about 9 years old. They really were. They'd been published in newspapers since September of 1930. They'd been in movies 1938 to 1950. And, of course, the Blondie radio program ran from 1939 until 1950. Arthur Lake and Penny Singleton, the original real-life characters of Blondie, Boopadoop, and Dagwood and Bumstead. So there you go. Let's get back to Blondie and Dagwood. Blondie from December 25th, 1939, 83 years ago.
And now, back in the Bumstead home, we find Blondie still reading to Baby Dumpling, and Dagwood still on the couch, dreaming that he is Dag Cratchit. He seems to be having a double feature dream, so let's catch the last half.
Hey, let go, Scrooge! Oh! Hey, Scrooge, open your eyes. We're back home again.
Well, Dag Cratchit, you gave me a turn, going out with a perfect stranger like that ghost.
I couldn't help it, Blondie Cratchit.
Have a nice ride, Father?
Well, yes and no.
No, but definitely no.
See, the ghost showed Mr. Scrooge's old school days. Boy, was little Scrooge smart at arithmetic.
Oh, I don't know.
Sure you were. Listen, the teacher asked him if he had $5 to divide among 9 other kids, how much would each kid get? And Scrooge figured each kid would get 30 cents.
Well, I was young and green in those days. I could make a real deal with those kids now.
I see what spoiled your trip now, Mr. Scrooge. Remorse.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the next trip will be better.
The next? Oh, I'd forgotten those other blasted ghosts. You think they'll show up?
Oh.
Listen.
Yeah, here comes the next one. The ghost of Christmas present.
Why, that sounds like the Fezziwig Fuddle ghost again.
You could come in.
I am in, buddy. I just whacked through the wall.
You're the same one who was here before. I thought you were the ghost of Christmas past.
Spook what you're spoken to, Scrooge. You see, our firm is pretty busy right now, and I have to double up on my route.
So now you're the ghost of Christmas present, huh?
No. The way old Scrooge has been acting, he ain't going to get any Christmas presents. You get it? Oh, I'm hot as a firecracker tonight.
Well, if you're a firecracker, why don't you go off? How's that? Get it?
No.
Oh. Well, look, leave me out of this next trip, huh, will you?
What's the matter? Did you like to ride?
Well, you know how it is. I'm not used to flying over housetops with ghosts.
Ghosts fly a little high for you, eh? Well, around Christmas time, you've got to expect high spirits. Oh, I got $1 million.
Huh? You got $1 million? Well, now, maybe we can do business.
We're going to do business, Pop. My way. Get ready to really step out when the clock strikes 1.
Again? I don't know what's got into that clock tonight.
Listen, I don't want to see any more spooks.
Why not? You're kind of a shady character yourself. Ooh, get ready. There goes the clock.
No, I won't go.
Don't grab me this time. Hold on to the table. Oh, he's gone.
So is the table. Oh, look.
Yeah, the ghost sent back the table. Well, we'll have something to eat Christmas dinner off of anyway.
Yes, but we haven't anything in the house for Christmas dinner.
You mean there isn't any little snack at all in the icebox?
Icebox? What's that?
Oh, I forgot. That's another thing they haven't invented yet.
What will it be when it is invented?
Oh, boy. Why, it'll be something to keep food in. All kinds of food and sandwich material. Boy, can I make a sandwich when I have the stuff.
It's a shame we're so poor, Dag Cratchit.
Yeah, no Christmas dinner. I tried to borrow one of those 2 crows the chimney sweep caught, but it didn't work.
He needed them for his own Christmas dinner, I guess.
Yeah, he said his wife's folks were coming over.
Well, don't you care, Dag Cratchit. We're better off than poor Mr. Scrooge. Imagine being haunted by flying ghosts like that.
Yeah. Hey, listen. It's one of the ghost boys again. Oh, what does he want now? Scrooge isn't here anymore.
Well, open the door and see what he wants, Dag Cratchit. It makes me nervous when he floats through the walls.
Okay, I'm coming.
Ha-ha! Fooled you, didn't I?
Why, it's Mr. Scrooge.
Why, Mr. Scrooge, how did you get away from that last ghost?
They weren't ghosts at all.
No?
No. Just something I ate.
Oh, you mean you were dreaming?
That must have been it.
But how did we get into your dream?
Anything can get into a dream, Blondie Cratchit. Look, you want to see what I can do? Look, my arms are empty, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, abracadabra, hocus pocus. Now look.
Gosh.
A turkey.
What a turkey. It's the biggest bird I ever saw.
I told you so. I can produce all the fixings, too, because I'm in your dream now.
Hey, Mr. Scrooge, you've changed a lot since I last saw you.
Well, I'll tell you, Dag Cratchit. When I woke up from my dream, I knew I'd been stingy all my life. I was so glad to discover I still had a chance to celebrate Christmas as it should be celebrated that I went around yelling a Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year to all the world. Hello! Whoops! Hello!
You did?
Yeah. Silly, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know. It's lots better than being well.
Say it, grouchy. I know. Well, that's all over for me. Why, I'm so generous now, it hurts. I'm loose as ashes.
Yeah?
Definitely spendthrift. Why, I went down to the office and lit 2 candles.
Oh, goodness.
Not only that, but I'm going to let them burn all night.
Attaboy.
And you know what, Dag Cratchit?
No, what?
Well, I lit a real fire in the fireplace. Both lumps of coal. Bingo, like that.
Gosh.
And then when they were burning good, I went back to the safe and I took out the mortgage I hold over this house you live in.
The mortgage?
Uh-huh. And I carried it over to the fire.
Oh, Mr. Scrooge, did you burn the mortgage?
Well, no, but I gave it a pretty bad scorching.
Oh, well, say, thanks, Mr. Scrooge.
Don't mention it, my boy. Why, what a fine fellow you are, Dag Cratchit.
Huh?
I'm going to raise your wages.
Oh, Mr. Scrooge.
I insist. Now, let's eat that turkey.
It has to be cooked yet.
Why, it is cooked. Didn't you notice?
Oh, my. When did that happen? And look, Dag Cratchit, the table's all set.
I fixed that, too.
Oh, and when we're all through eating, will the dishes wash themselves?
Why, positively. I keep telling you, Blondie Cratchit, anything can happen tonight.
Oh, a raise and a turkey? Thanks, Mr. Scrooge. Say, you're the best boss in the world.
From now on, Dag Cratchit, that's what I'm going to be.
The tops. Why, I'd rather work for you than the WPA.
From 83 years ago, December 25th, 1939, Blondie on Christmas on the Radio. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Wyatt Cox. Our webpage, classicradio.stream, and the conclusion of Blondie follows these important messages from your favorite radio station.
Christmas on the Radio continues, now with your host, Wyatt Cox.
And now let's head back to the Bumstead residence for the conclusion of Blondie, as it was originally broadcast Christmas Day, December 25th, 1939.
Hey, listen, the bell.
The Christmas bell.
Hooray for Christmas!
Hooray for you, too. Hey, wait, that's an electric bell. They aren't invented yet. Hey, wait, Scrooge. Don't fade away like that. Wait, Blondie. Where are you going?
Oh, my goodness. That doorbell is waking Daddy up, baby dumpling. Hurry and open the door. It's Mr. Dithers, Mommy.
Hello, Blondie. Where's Bumstead?
My, what a nice surprise, Mr. Dithers. Why, there's Dagwood on the couch. He's been sleeping, dreaming.
Don't go away.
I'm not going anywhere. I just came in.
Yeah, best boss a man ever had.
How's that? Does he mean me?
Oh, why, yes, of course.
Well, I never knew just how Bumstead felt about me before.
Oh. Hooray for my boss, Mr. Scrooge.
Huh?
Oh.
What did he call me? A stooge?
No. Maybe I'd better wake Dagwood up.
I'll wake him. Bumstead!
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. I'll put out the candle.
Candle? What candle? Wake up, Bumstead.
Wake up, Daddy. Yes, wake up, dear.
Oh, hey, what's the matter? Where am I?
At home?
Oh, yeah.
He's still asleep. I'll get my drum.
Go out to my car, baby dumpling. There's a present for you out there.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Dag, snap out of it.
Huh?
Remember me?
Oh, sure. Hello, Mr. Dithers. Say, thanks for the turkey.
Turkey?
What turkey?
Oh, no, that was in my dream. Biggest turkey I ever saw.
You would dream about food, Dagwood.
Not only food. Gosh, that was a funny dream. Want to hear it, huh?
Some other time, Dag. Right now, I want to give you a present.
Oh, a present?
Yep. Held it back till today to surprise you. Here it is. A bonus check.
Oh, Dagwood, look at the figure on that check.
For me?
Yep.
From you?
Certainly.
I'm still dreaming.
Why, Dagwood, that's not nice. Just look at that check.
Yeah, I see it. Hey, didn't you make a mistake?
I've made a good many, Bumstead, in the past. But, I want you to know, Bumstead, that the J.C. Dithers Company appreciates the fine spirit you show. A very fine spirit of cooperation and loyalty to our interests. Therefore, in appreciation of your work and to promote the welfare of your peaceful little home, I say peaceful little home.
Baby, where did you get that bass drum?
Quiet, baby! Sorry. What were you saying, Mr. Dithers?
Never mind. Take the check and have a good time. Well, I gotta get home to Corey now. See you later. Oh, Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Thanks for the check!
Thanks for the bass drum, too.
You're welcome.
Well, Dagwood, I hope you're ashamed of yourself now.
Me? Why?
Oh, just before you went to sleep, you said Mr. Dithers reminded you of old Scrooge.
Well, what of it? Scrooge turned out all right. So did Dithers.
Hey, Daddy, can I take my new bass drum over to Elvin Fuddles?
Sure, why not? Let's all go over to the Fuddles.
Now, Dagwood, maybe the Fuddles want to relax after their Christmas dinner. They may want quiet.
Relax? Quiet? On Christmas? Oh, no. Come on. We'll serenade them. Hey, give me that bass drum, baby.
Now, Dagwood.
Well, he can have his little drum, and you take the tin trumpet off the tree, Blondie.
Well, I'd rather play than listen. Come on.
Here we go. We're a parade. We'll go over and wish the Fuddles Merry Christmas.
And the whole neighborhood. And the whole world.
Right. Merry Christmas, everybody.
From Blondie.
And Dagwood.
And Baby Dumpling. Merry Christmas!
From 83 years ago, December 25th, 1939, Blondie will continue with an episode of The Man with the Action-Packed Expense Account when Christmas on the Radio continues in just about a minute.
And here's the Cinnamon Bear.
The oldest known children's Christmas serial in radio history, The Cinnamon Bear, featuring some of the most popular actors in radio history, including Elliot Lewis, Joseph Kearns, Verna Felton, Lou Merrill, Frank Nelson, Howard McNear, and child actress Barbara Jean Wong. 85 years later, this series of Judy and Jimmy traveling to Maybeland to recover their silver stars still fascinates youngsters of all ages. Now we're offering the entire 26-episode series of The Cinnamon Bear via download for a Buy Me a Coffee donation of $10 or more at classicradio.stream. Support Classic Radio Theater and have The Cinnamon Bear for your family to enjoy for years to come. Go to classicradio.stream and donate $10 or more, and I'll send you a link for immediate download. classicradio.stream. Now on Christmas on the Radio, an episode of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Star Bob Bailey wrote this Christmas episode from December 22nd, 1957, the-carmen-kringle-matter, about a donkey.
Johnny Dollar.
Pat McCracken, Johnny. How's the weather in Palm Springs?
A blonde in a bikini just melted past my poolside window. Goodbye now.
Oh, don't hang up. Johnny, this job's just a few miles north of where you are. It'll take maybe a day to clear it up.
Hey, you said that last Christmas, Pat, and I got trapped in a blizzard. This season, I soak in the sun. Happy New Year.
John boy, we have a bonus list in this office. Your name could be on it.
Near where I am, huh?
It's a ghost town in Calico. An old prospector named Kringle is breathing his last up there.
I thought old prospectors never died.
He wants to change the beneficiary on a $50,000 policy, but a nephew, Ned Kringle, threatened suit if we let him. So you contact our agent, Gene Craig, in Barstow.
Who's the new beneficiary?
Carmen Kringle.
Carmen?
A burro.
A burro?
Hey, if I don't hear from you, Johnny, Merry Christmas.
Bob Bailey, in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Home Office, Universal Adjustment Bureau, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Carmen-Kringle-Matter. Expense account item 1, $1.40. Telegram to Gene Craig in Barstow telling him where and when to meet me. Item 2, $50 even to Al Sterner for his charter plane to the ghost town of Calico. The guidebook says there's something about desert country that's good for the soul. And in spite of the air bumps, I got a panoramic view of the Great Mojave that took my breath away. The sun's setting rays hit the weird mineral craters of the Calico Range and turned them into a patchwork of beauty. Night comes quickly in this country, and I turned to Al when a Christmas tree cluster of blinking lights appeared under our wing. By way of answer, he put the plane into a glide and set us down on a smooth surface of a dry lake bed.
Johnny, you want me to wait around when your friend shows up?
No, thanks. Well, there seems to be plenty of company.
That's just an old coyote. Don't stand too long or you'll freeze to the spot.
Okay.
Good luck. Call me when you want to be picked up.
I watched Al's plane until it was swallowed by the darkness. Then suddenly I got that feeling in the hair on the back of my neck that I wasn't alone. The moon was up enough to make out shadows, and silhouetted in a circle around me was a strange collection of figures. One of the pack moved toward me. And for a crazy second, I thought I'd bumped into Santa Claus's reindeer. Then a car without lights came rushing at me. The headlights slammed on, and I got a glimpse of a donkey herd scattering into the night.
All right, mister. Walk toward me. Slow, with your hands high.
I've learned never to argue with a Winchester 94, so I followed orders. I spotted the weaving headlamps of another car approaching and prayed it was the agent, Gene Craig.
Close enough, Sonny. I can pop the rattlers off a sidewind at 60 yards, so don't you make no sudden move.
He was maybe 60 with gray sideburns and a floppy goatee. A marshal's badge was pinned to his leather jacket.
All right, now, mister.
Marshal, that's all right. That's Mr. Dollar.
Huh?
I was supposed to meet him earlier. I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Dollar. I'm Gene Craig.
Huh?
I couldn't get here until I drove Doc Spangler up to Chris. He's had another setback, Marshal.
Yeah, some darn fool let down a rail on his corral, and Chris Kringle's whole herd got loose. He don't give a chuck for most of them, though, except Carmen. Now he's fretting because she's running wild. Almost had him tracked down when this here fella showed up. You vouch for him, huh, Gene?
You are Johnny Dollar, aren't you?
Well, a frozen facsimile.
Come on, I'll drive you into Calico.
You tell Chris that I'll have his Carmen back in the corral before the moon's full. And, Gene.
Yeah, Marshal.
Tell the old sourdough to stay alive, would you? We need him around here. Sorry about mistaking you, Mr. Dollar.
Gene Craig, with a J, knew her way around. She was strictly business and filled me in fast on the old prospector with the odd name and his desire to change the beneficiary of his policy.
Everybody calls him Chris because every year he loads up his burros with toys and presents for the miners and their families back in the hills.
Huh?
The kids really think he is Santa Claus. I'm afraid it won't be a very merry one for them this year.
Well, what makes everyone so sure Kris Kringle is giving up the ghost?
Doc Spangler says there's nothing apparently wrong with him. It's more like he's given up.
Oh, what's with this Scrooge character, the nephew?
Ned Kringle seems all right. It's the man with him, Willie D'Agostino. He does the talking for Ned. You think he was going to inherit the money?
Well, maybe he's expecting to. You know, you're making a good case for Carmen.
Can a burro be a beneficiary, Johnny?
Kris can leave it to a three-masted schooner if he wants, providing a trust is set up.
Could the people of Calico be that trust if they promise to take care of Carmen?
Yeah, I guess so. Why?
That's the way Kris wants it. That way there'll always be a Christmas in Calico.
What happens when Carmen goes to donkey heaven? Or is it burros that never die?
There'll always be burros in Calico, Johnny. And one of them could always be named Carmen. Well, here we are, Johnny. Calico. Once the richest silver city in the West.
It was unbelievable. Like seeing a page from the past. Walter Nutt, famed creator of Nutt's Berry Farm and Western historian, had bought the old ghost town's battered remnants and restored it to the way it must have appeared in the wild and fevered days of the Silver Lode. I could make out signs nailed to weathered batten boards that told of a flourishing and colorful past. Joe's Saloon, The Last Chance, Hyena House Hotel, Lane's Mercantile, the Calico Print. High on a hill at the edge of town, people were gathered at the entrance to a cave that was illuminated by hundreds of miners' lamps.
And it gets you, huh?
Almost like it was planned.
They're rehearsing for the Christmas Eve pageant. Maybe you can spend Christmas Eve with us, Johnny. You don't have other plans?
I have a day with a steam-heated swimming pool.
What?
Come on. Let's meet the old man. Expense account item 3, $100 for a quart of perfume or a mink scarf, anything to wipe the hurt look off of Jean Craig's face. She led me up the steps to the rickety porch of Kris Kringle's wooden shack. A tall figure carrying a black bag stepped toward us out of the shadows.
Kitty, I'm glad to see you. Will you drive me back to town?
Why, certainly, Doc. Oh, this is Mr. Dollar.
Hi, son.
Hi.
Kris, is he still all right?
I couldn't say. Been sitting out here waiting for you.
You haven't seen the patient?
The medical man owes a duty and all that, but I'm too old to talk back to a gun.
They wouldn't let you in?
Tired of it.
Well, I'm not a medical man.
Oh, please be careful, Johnny.
I told you, Starbone, stay away and leave the old man. Well, if it ain't little Jeannie, the policy fixer. And who are you, mister?
Willie D'Agostino. This is Johnny Dollar. He's from the insurance company to see about changing the policy.
Who is it, Wooly? Who you talking to? Relax, will you, and let him give us some tourist directions back to Barstow. There'll be no policy changing at this late date, mister. Ned Kringle is very bereaved at the imminence of his uncle's demise. Just family admitted at this sad hour, so mosey along, folks. I'll leave the young man to his grief. Your foot is in the door, mister. I don't like your foot, and I don't like you.
His hand moved to his shoulder holster, but Jean was standing right beside me. It was Doc who suddenly shouldered past D'Agostino and fled up the stairs that gave him my chance. I kicked the door wide. Threw him off balance. I shoved Jeannie aside, and that was a mistake. Because a million Christmas tree lights blazed up in my skull. Then slowly the tree lights faded away, and I saw Jeannie fussing over me and looking worried. A young, nice-looking fellow was seated next to a marble-top table. D'Agostino leaned against the stone fireplace and dangled his gun, smiling like he had a stacked deck.
He's all right, Doc?
A nasty cut, but no fracture.
I know how to pull my punches, Doc.
The old man. How is he?
No better, no worse. Just lying up there staring at the ceiling.
I want to see Kris. I have a right to, Ned. I'm an old friend.
Wooly, wouldn't it be okay if Jean just went up? No, let him die in peace. He's past caring who sees him.
Wooly, these people have a right.
I said no. I'll get a hero boy in his feet and shove off. Go on.
Come on, Johnny. Help me, Doc.
How's it going to feel, Ned? Sharing blood money with a hoodlum. Your uncle paid for that policy with a pick and a shovel. It took a lot of years, a lot of sweat. And he's had your name on that policy ever since you were born.
Old man Kringle never saw pay dirt in his life. Ned had given money to live on, paid the premiums on his policy. Chris was always tapping the kid, claiming he had a new find. He was going to mine $1 million.
Boy, shut up.
The old man's dying. Tell him, Ned. Tell him how the old phony was always taking a bows, making like Santa Claus with the money you give him. Willie, haven't you got a... Tell him to hold on to the money! I know he's been waiting a long time for this. Me. Willie D'Agostino, that's who.
Is that true, Ned?
Yeah. I thought my uncle would make a strike someday. I honestly thought he'd strike it rich. I know he tried.
He did strike it rich, Ned. When he dies, every man, woman, and child in this town will mourn him. He'll live in their hearts. What will people remember about you, Mr. D'Agostino?
All right, get out and stay up before I...
Really? This rifle will make a hole in your belly big enough to pass a borax beam through. So you just drop that gun. Well, I don't know what the shouting's about, but you're guilty of carrying sidearms and you're threatening violence, Mr. D'Agostino. And ain't nobody does that in Calico, as long as I'm the marshal. Now, you better get.
Ed Nolan, I love you.
Don't let Gladys hear that.
Well, I'll see how Chris is.
Doc, tell the old buzzard that I got his Carmen back in the corral. Jingle bells and all.
Yeah, nice work, Ed.
Now, what's holding you, mister?
Okay. All right, let's go, Ned. Let the squares have a round, huh? I'm going to stay here, Willie. I want to be here when Chris... Hey, that's a good idea. That way, no fooling around with the will, huh? Smart kid, that Ned. See you at the funeral, huh? I'll go up now.
You were wonderful, Marshal. You too, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, sure. I take a nice sock on the head.
Hey, you folks better come up, too. Chris wants to say something.
Oh, wait a second. I figured on this. The corral. Come on. D'Agostino must have had another gun in his car. One of the bullets had found the mark he intended. Willie Boy wasn't taking any chances that Carmen Kringle would inherit $50,000. We found the burro lying on her side, quite dead. Jingle bells and all.
Johnny, how could he have been so cruel? Carmen dead. It's just not right.
Yeah, I figured D'Agostino might be mean enough to try killing Chris's pet burro.
We can't tell him about it. It would kill him for sure.
You'll have to know the truth, Gene. You'll have to decide about the will.
Yeah, truth is always the best. And easy this time.
Easy?
Huh? Yeah. I'll just take these bells off of this poor little feller, and I'll put them where they belong. Carmen? What? Carmen.
Oh.
Mosey over here now.
Well, you pulled a switch. You put these bells on another book.
Yeah. I didn't trust that greasy character, and I was right. And nice girl, Carmen.
Oh, baby.
Now, you folks going up and see old Chris. I'll keep an eye on this here $50,000 jackass. That's just the way it's going to be, ain't it, Johnny?
Yes, sir. That's the way it's going to be. But I was wrong. The roly-poly little old man in the four-poster bed with his white whiskers resting on the quilt changed his mind again. Even after hearing about how the marshal saved Carmen.
I wasn't going to scratch Ned's name off of that insurance, Mr. Dollar. I tried to shake that D'Agostino, figuring he'd take his hooks off of Ned if he thought my Carmen was going to get the money. Oh, I was scared for a while that I just might have to up and die to square my nephew's gambling debts.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'll work my fingers raw paying every cent I owe, but I'll pay him back with interest. I want you around.
Okay, Mr. Dollar.
Yeah, Chris.
Lift the lid on that footlocker and fetch me one of them bags in there. They're pretty heavy, but you look strong.
Oh, they're sure heavy enough. You got them stuffed with silver?
It's better than silver. Open it up. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, recognize that? Yeah. Maybe you'd better have a good sleep, Chris. This here is plain old gravel. Oh, plain gravel. It's uranium, Doc, huh? The last batch assayed at $900 a ton. And I got a mountain of it staked out. In both our names, Ned. You don't care why, Chris. Mr. Dollar, if you and Jeannie check with the Barstow Bank, you'll find that they'll extend credit on the strength of that assay. You reckon you can spend 2 days buying enough presents so as we won't disappoint the folks hereabouts?
Expense account item 4, $68 even. Telephone calls to 5 principal cities where I thought Willie D'Agostino might be remembered. The police department had a long list of reasons why they remembered Willie. That was my Christmas present to them. Expense account item 5, another 50. Truck rental to haul the presents we bought for Ned to give away come Christmas morning. And then it was Christmas Eve. We sat on the Kringles' porch and watched the procession up to the Maggie mine. The flickering lights from the miners' lamps reflecting on the faces of the happy children. Old Chris was bundled up in blankets, his little eyes twinkling, chuckling to himself like he knew all the answers to the universe. Jean was there, too.
Kind of nice. Isn't it, Johnny?
Kind of nice. Marshal Ed Noller was one of the wise men in the procession. I recognized the sideburns. And Doc Spangler couldn't hide his height. Oh, he wore an awful beard. Ned Kringle led the burro that carried the Blessed Mother. Yeah, you guessed it. The burro was Carmen Kringle. Expense account total, including return to Palm Springs and incidentals, $229.75. But forget it, Pat. This is the best holiday I ever had. And I was only cold at the start. From all of us to all of you, may this be your very merriest Christmas ever. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
From 65 years ago, December 22nd, 1957, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, on Christmas on the Radio. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. On many of our stations, we have another hour straight ahead. If you're with us, we look forward to the pleasure of your company. If you leave us at this time, we thank you so much for spending a part of your day with us, and we wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous 2023.